Welcome to ThinkVerse.
The podcast where big ideas meet everyday life.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Sarah. And Ryan, you know that moment when you're speaking English and everything you're saying is correct, but something still feels wrong?
Yes, like you can feel the other person's face change just a little, and you don't know why.
Exactly. You go home, you replay the conversation in your head, you can't figure out what went wrong. Your grammar was fine. Your vocabulary was fine.
But the conversation felt awkward, uncomfortable, off.
That feeling, that specific feeling, that's what we're talking about today.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to ThinkVerse, the podcast where big ideas meet everyday life. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Sarah. And today we want to talk about something that almost nobody teaches you in English class, but everyone who speaks English as a second language has felt.
That strange discomfort when your English is technically correct, but it's just not working.
Today we're going to show you exactly why that happens, and more importantly, what to do about it.
Quick favor before we start. If these episodes are helping you, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. A new episode every week. You don't want to miss the next one.
Let's get into it.
Let me start with a story that I think will feel very familiar.
Go ahead.
I had a colleague once, really smart, spoke beautiful English. His grammar was honestly probably better than mine.
That's not hard, Ryan.
Fair point. But one day we're in the break room and another colleague asks him, "Hey, want to grab lunch with us?"
And what did he say?
He said, "No." Just like that. No.
Oh, no.
Right. And the thing is, he didn't want to go. So his answer was correct, honest, grammatically perfect. But everyone in the room felt something. A coldness.
And he went back to his desk thinking everything was completely fine, but the other person felt rejected.
And this is what so many English learners don't realize. The problem isn't the words. It's how we use them in social situations.
In English, when someone invites you somewhere and you don't want to go, you don't just say no. You soften it. "Oh, I'd love to, but I actually brought my lunch today." Or, "Not today, but thanks," with a warm tone.
And notice what's happening. We're not just answering the question. We're taking care of the other person's feelings.
In many languages, being direct is completely normal, polite even. But in English, being too direct can sound rude, even if you don't mean it that way.
If someone offers you coffee and you just say no, it sounds harsh. Instead, we say, "Oh, no thanks, I'm okay." Or, "I'm good, but thank you."
And these extra words, they don't add information.
They add feeling.
They make the moment softer. They make the other person feel okay about asking.
Another example, you're at work. Someone sends the wrong document. You don't say, "This is wrong." You say, "Hey, I think this might be the wrong version. Do you have the updated one?" Or, "I might be confused, but I think I need the other one."
You're protecting their feelings, making it sound like maybe you're the confused one.
Even though they sent the wrong thing.
Drop a comment. Does this feel natural to you? Or does it feel strange coming from your language? We read every single one.
I want to give a name to what we've been talking about. Emotional comfort.
That's a perfect phrase for it.
When we speak English in social situations, we're constantly trying to make the other person feel comfortable. We're trying to make sure they don't feel rejected or stupid or like they asked something annoying.
And if you don't do this, your English will sound cold, even if every word is correct.
Here's another example. Someone asks you, "Can you help me move this weekend?"
And you really don't want to spend your weekend carrying boxes.
Right, but you don't say, "No, I don't want to help you," even though that's the complete truth.
You'd say something like, "Oh man, I wish I could, but I'm actually visiting my parents this weekend. I'm really sorry."
Or, "This weekend is really bad for me. Any chance you could do it the weekend after?"
You're not just saying no, you're explaining. You're showing you care. You're even apologizing, even though you didn't do anything wrong.
And this probably sounds strange if you're not used to it. Why apologize? You didn't do anything wrong.
But in English, especially American and British English, we apologize for things that aren't our fault all the time. It's not really an apology. It's a way of saying, "I care about your situation. I'm sorry this is hard for you."
It's emotional comfort, even in small moments.
And if you don't offer that emotional comfort, conversations feel sharp, even if the words are correct, and people won't want to talk to you as much, not because they don't like you, but because the conversation feels uncomfortable.
And that is so unfair, because you've worked so hard on your English. You're doing everything right. You just weren't taught this part.
Your English teachers taught you grammar, they taught you how to pass tests, but they probably didn't teach you how to make people feel comfortable when you talk.
Because you can't learn this from rules. You learn it from listening, from noticing, from feeling the difference.
Which is exactly what we're trying to help you do.
I want to talk about something that might be the most important thing in this whole episode: tone.
Tone is everything.
You can say the exact same words, and depending on your tone, they mean completely different things.
Let's take a simple example. That's interesting.
If I say, "That's interesting," with a rising tone and genuine warmth, it means I really think it's interesting. I'm engaged. I want to know more.
But if you say, "That's interesting," completely flat, with no emotion, it sounds like you're politely saying you don't care at all.
Or even worse, if you say, "That's interesting," slowly with a certain pause, it means "That's weird," or "I don't like that."
Same 3 words, 3 completely different meanings.
And the meaning comes entirely from the tone, not from the dictionary.
This is why English learners sometimes say something and get a completely different reaction than they expected. The words were right, but the tone sent a different message.
And tone is really hard to learn from a book. You have to hear it. You have to feel it.
This is why listening is so important. Not listening to find a new vocabulary, but listening to learn how people use their voice.
How they go up at the end of a sentence when they're genuinely curious, even if it's not technically a question.
How they stretch out certain words to show emotion. How they pause before saying something difficult.
All these tiny things that native speakers do without even thinking about them.
And if you don't do them, your English sounds flat, robotic, even if the vocabulary is perfect.
So how do you learn tone? The honest answer is you listen a lot to real conversations, not scripted textbook dialogues.
Real people talking about real things. Podcasts, TV shows, movies, YouTube conversations.
And when you listen, don't just focus on the words. Notice the tone. Notice the softness. Notice the extra phrases that seem unnecessary but do enormous emotional work.
It's like learning music. You can read music theory, but if you want to play music, you need to listen to a lot of music first.
You absorb it slowly without even realizing it's happening. And then one day, you start to feel it naturally.
Okay, this next one is going to confuse you at first, but stay with us.
In English, we often say the complete opposite of what we mean, and you're supposed to understand from context and tone.
This is called sarcasm, and it is everywhere in English conversation.
Let me give you an example. You help your friend move house. It takes hours. You're carrying heavy boxes up multiple flights of stairs. It's exhausting. Nobody is enjoying it. And at the end, your friend looks at you and says, "Well, that was fun."
They don't mean it was actually fun,
They mean the complete opposite. It was terrible. It was exhausting.
but you're supposed to laugh and agree, say, "Oh yeah, so much fun," with the same tone.
And if you take it literally, if you say, "Yes, I really enjoyed it. I'd do it again," the moment becomes very strange.
Because you missed the sarcasm, you missed the tone.
Another example. It's pouring rain outside. Absolutely miserable weather. Someone looks out the window and says, "Beautiful day."
They mean the complete opposite. They're saying the weather is terrible.
And the correct response is to laugh or say, "Oh yeah, gorgeous," with a smile.
Not to say, "But it's raining."
Because everyone knows it's raining. The whole point is saying the opposite.
This kind of sarcasm is everywhere in English, especially in British English, but also in American English. And if you're not used to it, you'll miss it, and the conversation will feel confusing.
So how do you catch sarcasm? Listen for the mismatch.
If someone says something positive, but their voice doesn't sound positive, it's probably sarcasm.
If they say something that is obviously untrue given the situation, like calling terrible weather beautiful, that's almost always sarcasm.
The mismatch between the words and the feeling, that's the signal.
And once you start noticing it, you'll see it everywhere. English is full of it, and catching it makes conversations so much more enjoyable.
Let's make this all practical. Social English in real situations. Say it better.
Instead of, no, I can't come, try, oh, I'd really love to, but I can't make it this time. Next time, though, for sure.
Instead of, I don't understand, try, sorry, could you say that again? I want to make sure I got it.
Instead of, you're wrong, try, I'm not sure I see it the same way. Can I share a different perspective?
Instead of, wait, try, give me 1 second, or bear with me just a moment.
Instead of, I don't like this, try, this isn't really my style, but I can see why others would love it.
Every one of these does the same thing. It answers the question, but it also takes care of the other person's feelings at the same time.
That's social English, answering the question and taking care of the feeling at the same time.
And 3 practical things you can start doing this week. First, stop trying to be perfect. Warm and imperfect will always feel more natural than cold and correct.
Second, listen to real conversations. Notice the softness. Notice the extra phrases that seem unnecessary, but do enormous emotional work.
Third, practice one softener. Instead of just no, try, not today, but thanks. Instead of I don't know, try, that's a good question, let me think.
One small change, one conversation. That's where it starts.
If this episode helped you, share it with someone who keeps saying their English feels awkward even though they study hard, because this might be exactly what they needed to hear.
One share helps us reach more people, and every single one means a lot to us.
Now, next episode, and this one is very practical and very immediately useful.
We're talking about how to disagree in English without sounding rude, because being too direct when you disagree is one of the biggest places where conversations go completely wrong.
And we have phrases and techniques that will change how you handle disagreements in English completely.
If you've ever said something honest and watched someone's expression go cold, next episode is specifically for you.
Subscribe now so you don't miss it. It drops next week.
Until then, keep talking, keep growing. And remember, your English is better than you think. You just need to learn how to use it with people.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Ryan.
And this is Thinkverse. See you next time.